All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting the good fight of faith, in truth and sincerity and wholeheartedly, Shalom to the Akwap, which is the women believers, Shalom unto you. I don't really think, well actually, I know for a fact that you don't understand the magnitude of these scriptures that we read. So the creator of all things is telling you that it's going to be a day so bad, it's going to be the worst time ever in history. So when you read stuff like that, what should happen, it should bring fear upon you. But a lot of people like to scoff. And I can honestly say, if it wasn't for the scriptures foretelling that in the last days there should come scoffers walking after their own lust, 2 Peter 3:3, then I would really be pissed, because you got a lot of unbelievers out there, but they will reap what they sow. You will not be defended in these days to come. So it said, for then there should be great tribulation. Now, when you go into this word great in the Greek, it's megas, and one of the definitions is great effort with high intensity. You're dealing with the devil here. This is ancient hatred. This is from the womb to the tomb hatred. The Lord is about to allow this man to open up on you Jakes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Slavery was horrible. And that's when the Lord was like, hey, have your way. The Lord's going to allow that again. It ain't going to be no slavery, though. It's just going to be total destruction. And when you hear us talk about Jacob's trouble, and you probably say, oh, you're always talking about Jacob's trouble. You're always talking about, the digital implant. Well, guess what? When these things do happen, you're not going to be saying, oh, man, you always talk about that. You're going to be like, oh, shit. The old shit is coming to the earth real soon. Esau Edom is planning right now how to overthrow you, how to put this thing in place. So many laws have already been prescribed for, a state of emergency. So many, bills have been passed when it comes to state of emergency. Basically, just give the president all power to enact whatever he wants. That's what's coming. One false flag, and that's all it takes. So it said, for then it should be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. This is how you know it's going to be bad, because the Lord says it's going to get so bad, it ain't going to never be that bad again. Because guess what? Guess what's coming after this? Paradise for the elect. And then eventually the 2/3 will get destroyed on this side. As the brother in Chicago say, nutsack Israelites. All right, because you're gonna have to come back as a newborn baby instead of being the ones who actually established the kingdom with Yahweh Shai. I hope to be in that lot, So it says, and except those days shall be shortened. This is the reason why days are zooming by. A week go by fast now. And it says, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. Not because Israel, all right, but the elect of Israel's sake. A lot of unbelievers going to die. All unbelievers going to die of Israel. So these days are approaching. See, here's the thing. You remember when you was a kid? Those days flew by, huh? So You know how when you was a kid and you said, I can't wait till I'm an adult. Now you an adult. That's the same way that these calamities is about to come. Each day you wake up, you getting closer to that. Look at the world. Have the world been the same ever since the scamdemic? Huh? No. The only difference is you got to take off a mask. That's it. The economy jacked up. Prices high as hell. They keep going up. Then they'll come down a few cents. And then you think that, oh yeah, see, it ain't that bad. Gas been up, staying up. You know, gas was already high before the scamdemic. But we just got conditioned. See, the thing is that people is conditioned to bullshit. Because once you look at the world for really what it is bullshit. Even paying taxes is bullshit. You ain't supposed to pay taxes. It's on the books. But guess what? Don't do it and see what happens. So the man don't follow by his own rule book. He's a totalitarian tyrant, okay? That's what he is. He's a tyrant. This is the devil that we're dealing with. So let's get into some examples of what's coming to the earth. So I'm going to read this one, and then I'm going to get into the examples. But this is how bad it's going to be. This is the number one archangel. He going to have to come down here on our behalf. Because that's how bad it's going to get. And it said, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of your people. And there shall be a time as trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So that's the elect, the book of life. You know, Yahushua told his disciples when he gave them the power to heal, you know, and to, you know, basically spiritual power and things like that. He was like, don't be happy that you have this, but be happy that your names is written in heaven. All right. So that's what we strive for. We want to be delivered. We want to have a good name. The scriptures talks about a good name. A good name lasts forever. I think that's Proverbs 22:1. Good name lasts forever. That good name follow you. But now let's get into, you know, some, you know, examples of this time. So it said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? So the Lord gave Ezra a vision in the future. He was in the vision, obviously. So he's here today. The difference is he know what to do, and that's trusting Yahweh Shai. So it says the beginning of sorrow. So when something is at the beginning, you hope for the end of it. And this is actually happening on a little level, because ever since the scandemic from 2020 into now, according to statistics, they saying that, you know, the murder rate been at the all-time high. And then it's at the beginning of sorrows. The suicide rate been at an all-time high. So it's the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. These are the days that we are approaching. And that's why in Ecclesiastes 7:8, it said, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So a lot of people is going to be wishing that they wasn't in the situation that they are in. It's going to get so bad that you're going to wish that you would die. But the Lord is going to keep you alive because you got to get judged. You're not going to die before the judgment come. All right. He ain't even going to put it in your mind to take your own life. You're going to get this work. All right. The Lord is handing out ass whoopings all over the world every day. It says in Zephaniah 3:5, said the Lord is in the midst thereof. Every morning he brings his judgment to light. So when something happened on the earth, it's the Lord who did it. But the scripture says that the unjust, which is the wicked of our people, knoweth no shame. So they don't consider. So it says the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. Everybody gonna be scared, even the ones that's in power. All right, because the times that we are approaching is going to be a very evil time. It's at the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And Esdras know, because he's back here today. The Lord gave him a vision of this time, so that means he's here. All right. So let's continue. It's about to be the wild, wild west out here. That's what people don't get. So it said, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. What is the main sword? The missiles. That's the end game. That's the conclusion of the matter. Also, as it say in Psalm 17:13, King David asked the Father, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. So you're going to get the wicked upon you before the missiles. That's the icing on the cake. So that means troubles on every side. And it said, one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. That's Wild Wild West. All right. It's going to be shootouts galore out here. Why? So this is what I think. Now, as you see, remember, matter of fact, not as you see, as you heard. If you in the know, this is why whoever come across these videos, you need to take them seriously. Because the Lord have made us watchmen, so we watch everything and we report on it. So, Klaus Schwab, which is the so-called founder of the World Economic Forum, all right? He said that you will own nothing and be happy. All right? So, if you have any good sense, anybody is not just going to take that lightly, because when he really tried to implement that, it ain't going to be, Klaus Schwab himself, but the powers that's behind him, because he the front man, he just giving a message. But when the powers that be actually try to bring this forth, you think the people really going to take that? So, because the next scripture is going to tell you, and it said, for there should be sedition among men. A sedition is an uprising. Also, a sedition is caused. It's a revolution. It means that people are going to be speaking out against the government. So that means that the people is going to get tired, and they're going to realize that they got the shitty end of the stick, and they're going to realize that, even though the prophet's been telling you, the government don't have my best interests at heart. You should know that soon as 2020 came. You should have been knew it before that, but 2020 really, when they start saying you got to force inoculate, that's when you should have known that this government don't give a damn about you. All right. But it said, for there should be sedition among men and evading one another. They should not regard their kings or princes. That's the government. That's the mayors. That's the governors. All right. That's your police, anybody that you look to as a power structure. The people ain't going to care in that day. It's going to be wild, wild west. That's why the scripture above said they're going to be fighting with swords in their hands. The modern day sword is the gun. And it says, in the course of their power, of their action shall stand in their power. And it says, which remind me of Job 20 and 22. It said, in the fullness of their sufficiency. So when they think that they got the new world order, it said they should be in straits, which is a position of difficulty. Every hand of the wicked, when you go into that word wicked in that scripture, is Imal in the Hebrew, and it's the laborer, which is the people of the earth. So everybody's going to be at this man. All right. Of course, not the elite of the elite, because they are the puppet master that pull the strings. But the people that are the front man, the people who actually think that these are the rulers, y'all going to get touched. All right. So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law. Because I believe that when the sedition happened, because I feel like these scriptures right here is in order. I can't say the chronological. I can't say that word. Chronological in order. Chronologically. Anyways, but I feel like these scriptures in order right here. So the sedition is going to bring the troops in to get order. So it's going to be, but I'm speculating as a man. But the point is, I'm giving you an example of the times that's coming. And it says, For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So all you people out there who think you tough, you about to become a woman in that day. Scriptures talks about a man travailing with child as an example, as a symbol, because men don't have children. All right. Even though it might a person who look like a man because, they taking hormone pills to change to another sex. That person is still a biological woman. A man can't have a child. But the point is that this is what's coming to the earth. Let's continue. A man should have no pity upon his neighbor. So guess what? The person who you call your dog, all right? Oh, that's my boy, that's my best friend, that's my brother. Y'all gonna be fighting, all right? Because it's why. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be a famine. And when there's no food, ain't nobody friends. And Matthew 24:12, since iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, because at that time it's going to be lawlessness. It's going to be the survival of the fittest. All right. So let me end it on this. The men of the Lord don't have to worry. So when these things start to happen, you're going to know there was a prophet among you. So it said, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. That's unbelievers. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, and you shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of spirit, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, because you're going to be hopeless in that day. And you're going to try to jump on the bandwagon, but it's going to be too late. So all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Seek you the Lord while he may be found. And Shalom.